Hello, and I welcome you to the World News. Now recently, the Chief Commander of the Indo-Pacific of the United States of America gave a statement. He said that China is gradually moving forward according to a Boling Frog Strategy, and you will see. Many articles have been published on this, all over the world. Here you will be able to see China using Boling Frog Strategy to mass rising aggression in Pacific. Now again, the question here is, what is China's Boling Frog Strategy? And is India in danger from this? Well, let me explain this to you in very simple language. Now this in itself is an idiom. What it means is that when you put a frog in a pot of boiling water, the water is just opening up in there, right? And in that pot, if you put a frog in it, immediately the frog will jump out of the vessel. But there is a different way to kill the frog. First, keep the frog in normal water. Keep the frog in it at a normal temperature and slowly. You increase the temperature slowly. Now what happens in the case of frog is that the frog slowly starts adjusting the temperature of its body according to the temperature of the water around it. So what will happen in this particular case is that the frog does not jump out. Will kill. The frog will remain sitting in the water and keep adjusting weather a little more. I just make adjustments. There will be no problem. And then when the water becomes too hot, at the time of the frog's death, when the frog will try to jump, will try to go out, he will not have any strength left. His legs have already melted to a great extent, and he has already used up a lot of the strength of his metabolism. Now he is stuck in adjusting the temperature of his body. Since the frog did not notice the temperature of the water continuously increasing, it was killed, and sometimes frogs are killed like this. This is a proven scientific theory, and according to the Indo-Pacific Commander of USA, China is also worried about its surroundings. This is what it is doing to the countries. If China suddenly starts a war today, it is possible that China may suddenly get a hobby. The countries may push back on China for once, but if China normalizes all this aggression, let me tell you one thing. Many years ago, if you had received the news that a Chinese ship had sunk a Coast Guard ship of the Philippines or had bombed around Indonesia or Taiwan, you would have been shocked. You would have thought that this is very wrong. But today China has made its image such that many of China's actions have become normalized. Now if news comes that China has deployed tanks around Arunachal Pradesh, if you stand up, you will not feel as surprised as you did many years ago. If a ship from the Philippines drops it, or you can assume that news also comes that China has captured an island of the Philippines, I guarantee you will not be surprised. You will say, okay, now China has created this trend. China is now doing aggression. This is called Boling Frog Strategy. China is assuming that the surrounding countries will not gradually notice that the water temperature is increasing, and at some point the temperature will increase so much that by the time these countries react, it will be too late. For example, recently news has come that China has fired water cannons towards the Philippines. This is a very dangerous move because Philippines and USA have a defense pact. Any attack on Philippines will be considered an attack on the United States of America. China is often seen testing this defense pact. And the most interesting thing is that till now the countries around China have not made any new military pact among themselves. You can say that China is like this, or you can say take China's Boling Frog Strategy. It is working so well that till now nothing has happened that India and Japan signed a defense pact. Or the countries around China have signed a defense pact. ASEAN countries have signed a defense pact among themselves. Nothing like that has happened. Even though Xi Jinping would give this statement almost every 6 to 8 months. That is, Chinese military will have to be ready for war. Here you will be able to see that recently Xi Jinping has shaken up China's military and has said that it is time to rethink how to fight and win future wars. Now here your question will come that if we say in geopolitical language, then according to the new terminology, China is boiling the frog. Gradually the temperature of the water is increasing. Now the question is that at what time will the frog react? Or else the frog will remain sitting there. Well, see, if we talk about the surrounding countries, then I would say to India that there is no need to worry because India's military is very strong, second strongest after China in this region. You will get India's. India also has nuclear arsenal. India has nuclear warheads, and very soon we will also have hypersonic missiles. Recently, India has built its first hypersonic test facility. Here in IIT Kanpur, will do all the research work. So right now, India will take some time. It will take 1 or 2 years, but eventually hypersonic missiles will arrive, and after the arrival of hypersonic missiles, I do not think that China will ever want to do a full-scale war against India. It will be foolish now. Talking about other nearby countries, Taiwan comes here, Philippines comes here, Japan comes. I would say that the role of AUKUS becomes very important there. You would know that AUKUS is a proper security group if we talk about Quad. Quad is not a security group. You will know the full form of AUKUS. Australia, UK, USA is a group of 3 countries, and US officials had recently said that they will think of expanding AUKUS. Very soon, it is possible that Japan will also be included in AUKUS. And within that, Japan can also get nuclear-powered submarines. That is a huge deterrence against China. Now, if you ask here why India doesn't join AUKUS, see, if India do that, then relations with Russia will deteriorate very much. Russia has openly criticized AUKUS and even said that inside AUKUS there may be proliferating nuclear technology, which you do not have to give to outside countries, and which you cannot share with other countries. If India share, then Russia is absolutely against AUKUS. Russia has also spoken against Quad, but India has categorically said that Quad is not a security group. You will not find any military aspect in it. So it is very important to keep China in check. It is important that there should be a gradual expansion of AUKUS. Japan and Philippines should also be included in AUKUS. India itself would obviously not want us to be a part of AUKUS. We do not need anything that AUKUS group offers. India are quite enough. India can build it to this extent, or tomorrow India can build such submarines themselves in collaboration with a country like France. Then see this Boling Frog Strategy. An American commander has talked about it, and whatever work has to be done against the adventure, that is the responsibility. Yes, that too comes predominantly on USA. So it has to be seen in the future what US does, and geopolitically, will this frog keep boiling, or will it come at some time and take action? Now finally, I have a question for all of you. The question I will ask here is that where will the world's largest airport be built very soon? Recently, many articles have been published on this. Here your options are Dubai, London, Mumbai, or Beijing. Answer in the comments section. Those who give the correct answer will comment. I will give it hard so that others can understand what is the correct answer. And finally, with this note, this is the end of video. Thank you for listening, and as I always say, may the gods watch over you.